Alright guys, so I know you're probably wondering why somebody like me who does most, if not all of his work on a perfectly good CNC, which I have right there behind me, and I really love and enjoy, easiest way to make cabinetry, why would I go out and get a brand new 5 horsepower table saw with a slider and router table and all this stuff in it when I have one machine that pretty much does everything, almost everything a table saw would do? And that reason is because the almost. The almost is the reason why you still need a table saw even though you have a CNC. The CNC can do almost everything, but not quite everything. And when I say not quite everything, like let's say a really off angle that you can't really do on a CNC without having to probably order a special bit to get a custom bit made to be that particular angle. And let's just face it, there are some things that it's just you can just knock out real quick on a table saw, like squaring up a 5-piece shaker cabinet door, or cutting down a one piece of hardwood. You don't need to load up every single thing on a CNC all the time. And so table saw is something that you just can't get around having. And I was getting around not having a really nice one by using a job site kobalt one, but that was sketchy and very dangerous. And it was just finally time, after 10 years of working in the cabinetry slash woodworking business, I finally have a real table saw in my shop, and I love it. So join me today as I show you the process of putting this guy together, from the unboxing to getting it out of the crate to lifting it up off of the crate, to putting it all together, all of the pieces and parts. And I'm just gonna show you that progress. So join me today on this brand new table saw build. Hope you enjoy it. Ooh, baby, delivery day. We got some good showing up. Yeah. Back it on up, back it on up, back it on up. Yeah, baby.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Shall we? Easy.
Before I start putting any other parts on this guy, I want to get it off of the pallet and onto its mobile base, which is in this pile back here behind here. And so I'm gonna try to dig the mobile base out, assemble that guy, so that I can put the table saw with it at its lightest weight onto the mobile base, and then I'll start adding on all the wings and the parts to it so that I won't have to work around those at a later time. Man, get out of here. Are you serious? Let me show you this. Like, I can't believe this. The mobile base comes already assembled. Like, I was expecting to have to do a whole assembly thing. Let me
Fully
show you.
assembled.
Like, I have other mobile bases. I always have to assemble them. Oh, and all 4 wheels turn. There's not just like 2 straight wheels and then 2 wheels that turn. That's really nice. All right, highly unrecommended. This is not how they told me to do it, but 2 Husky adjustable height tables, getting it up off of the floor. Let's see if we can get this out of here now. slide this guy under here. All right. Did it. That was just in time. Ha ha! Yes. I work by myself all the time, so you gotta be creative lifting heavy objects. These Husky adjustable height tables have come in clutch in so many different ways. Took a little bit of time, but yeah. All right, per the instructions, little hole here. Sometimes there's not one here. And then you have these levers here. And you line those two holes up. And then they give you the provided M4 by 12 fastener here, self-tapping, in case you don't have the holes. To secure your mobile base in. And there's one on, this is the front, there's one on the back as well. All right, and just like that, we now have a mobile base. And then if we come and drop this lever down, now I can't move it. Back up, moves freely. Very nice. All right, we now have 3 bolts there, and we are going to use those to attach this wing onto the tabletop. This one came pre-installed. We're going to attach this one now. I'm using the Husky table again to give me some support while I lift it up and get it close to being level or on plane. And then once I get the bolts in, then we can level it up with a straight edge. All right, now that we got this table put on, now we're going to work on putting the rail system on. The front rail, back rail, and the allotted fasteners and tools that came with it to assemble. All right, so I've adjusted my adjustable height table to be in line with this for the most part. All right, day 2 for the Sawstop ICS 5 horsepower table saw build. So today we are going to try to work through putting on a slider here on the left side of the table, and then after that we are going to put a router table on this side. And that should complete our build for this table saw. Then we got to run out and get some power cords and some wiring to run electrical to this beefy baby right here. So let's get to it. Day 2. All right, so we got all of our parts out here, and the rest of the parts are over here. This does come with multiple hardware options for different versions of the table saw, so there will be some extras left over. So we are going to start looking through this instruction manual and following steps to assemble this guy. I will not be giving you a step-by-step installation on this, but I'll just be showing you the progress as I move along. We have turned the Husky adjustable table around so that we can have both of these legs on both sides. And I can raise and lower this guy while I attach it to the table saw. And in this instance, I am going to attach it in the, I believe it's called the standard mount, to where this portion to this portion is mounted in front of here instead of this edge being flush with this edge. From my understanding, this allows you to get more cross cut and angled cuts, miter cuts, while you're cutting, versus the flush mount reduces that amount. So I want to be able to get as much as I possibly can on that side of the table saw. I'm trying to put the bolts in, but the bolts have to go in underneath this guy. So, you know, what I just found out was there's a lever under here which releases this. Here, lock in. And now I can start bolting it to the wing. Found our first mounting hole here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get each one of these bolts in and started, and before I'm going to get them close to being tightened down, and then once I get it close to being tightened down, then I'm going to level this thing out and flush it out before I tighten down the last fastener. So let's get to doing that. All right, we got our level. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's barely grazing that board right there. See how it's barely moving it a little bit? So we are all good to go on there. Perfect. All right, now we're going to attach this auxiliary piece with these T-nuts here. I'm going to slide these guys in one way or the other. Let's get a generalized alignment here. All right, so we move that portion here for the front edge to align with the front edge, and then retighten it down and got it flat. And now, hopefully, after I read the directions, we can move on to the next steps. We get to pull out this big bad boy. All right, guys, figured it out. So initially I had this portion in this rail, and it's the opposite. So it goes into this far left rail, and then this knob here, it goes into here. So now I can adjust this guy like so. That is nice. We're gonna install this supporting plate here, so when this material is extend it out, we got something to catch the material out here. So let's do that real quick. Installed. Now we're gonna install our flip stops, which they should just slide in this T slot like so. If I can get it in there. Oh, this bolt is blocking that one, so we're gonna slide that out of the way and slide it down like so. Same with this guy. We now have a functional slider. We got our functional depth stops. This is set at like a 45 degree. I don't have power right now, so that's the next thing I gotta do is go get a power cord and hook this baby up. Woo! All right, guys. We are assembly complete for the most part. I have not done any fine tuning or adjusting or checking of alignments or any of that stuff, but we are complete on the build. I did not capture all of it. I ain't gonna lie, I got tired and I have to get back to work. So this guy is running smoothly, and then we got running smoothly, almost too smoothly. And then we also have the router table set up as well, but I still have to put a router in there. So last thing to do is to turn this baby on. So let's do that. Turn the guy on. We got power. Waiting for it to finish its analysis. And now it is ready to go. Yeah, baby. And watch this break. Bam. Stops it quick instead of letting it just spin on. Love that. Man, this thing is gonna be really, really nice. All right, guys, here goes nothing. My first cut on the new table saw. Cutting some cherry. God, that's smooth. Don't got my foot stick. Whoa! That is so smooth, baby! Man, like, do you know that just does not go that fast for me on the Kobalt? I mean, look at that finish on there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is silky smooth. Beautiful, beautiful cut.